G'day everybody and welcome to another episode of Muzz and the Chefs. How the hell did we end up here? Podcast, I think it's 15.
It is 15.
It is 15.
Trust me, I remember every single one of them intimately.
I beg your pardon?
No, continue.
Intimately.
Intimately.
That's scary. So if everybody, again, this week, if you'd like to subscribe and comment and like and all that kind of stuff, we also are putting the podcast up on our Facebook page. And if you haven't liked our Facebook page,
get your ass in gear.
Get your ass over there and give us a like on our Facebook page as well, which is just titled Muzz and the Chef Podcast. And we'll see you there. Please comment there as well. That'd be fantastic.
I wonder if you enjoyed the swear show.
Oh, that's what I was going to mention.
That went up.
Swear reel. Yes, the swear count reel. And I think it's had more views than anything.
Yeah. 93 swear words in half an hour show. Murray, you should be ashamed.
I was a little bit over half an hour. It was actually about... I think that one was about a 40-minute show. So, anyway. Yeah, so apparently it's... I've noticed I've gotten this flinty thing starting to happen with my voice. Apparently. Something like that.
It's usually just as a finger slips up your arse.
Jeez.
Here we go.
Hit the gutter already.
We're off and running.
Right, so yeah. This week,
did you
without
fast
any
check?
further ado, no, I didn't. I was actually... The fact that I was trying to look up just before the show was actually pertains, that's a big word.
Oh my God.
There's
another finger up the arse there.
Pertains to this particular episode. So we have discussed this a little bit in another...
As nauseum, or what is it? As
ad nauseum?
Ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum? No, we haven't discussed this ad nauseum.
Okay.
But we have discussed it briefly in another podcast, in the sport episode. And it is transgenderism.
Transgenderism.
Transgenderism and your take on this phenomenon.
Right.
I
I don't know. See, I don't identify as male or female. I'm a tractor. So...
John Deere.
I don't know. I don't know where to start with this. This is a very serious thing.
Is it serious?
I think it is. I think it's getting more serious.
I think it's getting way too serious.
The French now, you don't list the mother and father as male and female. It's on the birth certificates. Yeah, it's got that messed up. I do know a person that sometimes dresses as a boy and appears as a boy, and sometimes dresses as a girl and appears as a girl. So I don't understand it. It's their life. They can go away and do what they like, as long as it doesn't affect what I do or who I am or my family or hurts my family in any way. I don't really care. But I do believe you're born with one bit or another bit, and that's what you are. If you want to identify as something else, that's fine. But don't turn up to a male change room as a woman and go, I identify as male and get changed, because I'm going to feel a little uncomfortable. And don't do it the other way. You can walk into a swimming thing and they go, oh, you've got to go in the male thing. No, I identify as a woman. I'm going to go and get changed with the women. Like, fuck off. Seriously, that's
Okay.
But they're not forcing, but the kids are choosing much younger. Like, they're 12 and 11 and they're aware of this. Like, all I needed at that age, I needed to know where my bicycle was, and that was it. And like, they're now gender fluid. Like, they can be either, both, neither. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. But hey, I'm a dinosaur now. So are you. So what do you think?
For someone who didn't have much of an opinion on it, you seem to have a lot of opinions.
Yeah.
Well, I probably agree with you on the point of do what you want with your life, because I'm a libertarian. So, do what you want with your life as long as it doesn't...
I thought you were a Pisces.
I'm not a Pisces, I'm a Gemini. As long as it doesn't impact on other people and things like that. And what I was actually trying to look up on my phone before the show was the percentage of people in Australia who identify officially as transgender, but it's such a difficult... That is even so difficult to ascertain, because they identify as so many different
What's
things.
the difference between transgender and transsexual? A transsexual is a man that's become a woman that's become a man. Well, what's a transgender? Have they done the same thing but no operation? I don't know.
Yeah, well, that was the kind of, I think, things we need to probably look into a bit more.
But if you're a man and you want to be a woman, go and get the operation, be a woman. If you're a woman and wants to be a man, go and do that. But does transgender mean you can be the other one without changing the biology? Is that what it means?
I don't know.
I've got a question for you.
Oh, what?
Would you sleep with a woman that had been a man?
See, this comes up I've seen this a lot on YouTube and other places and things like that, and saying things like, "Well, for a start, I'm married, so you know."
Well, if you, oh no, let's pretend you're in Thailand for a weekend.
Why is it just?
I don't know.
I don't think that matters anymore. I was going to say something there, but then you
interrupted and broke your concentration again
with a question.
Well, would you?
Okay, now, what was the question again?
Would you sleep with a woman that had been a man? She's transitioned from male to female.
Well, see,
with all the biology of a female.
Well, the problem is a lot of the time they still don't look very feminine, do they?
Okay, well.
So I think for me, I am sexually attracted to the feminine, not the masculine, and that's not being bigoted or anything else. Get your fucking hand off me. And yeah, so I mean, I like the, I'm attracted to the female form. So I guess if they looked really like a woman. Maybe. But they'd have to be very, very feminine.
Okay.
Very, 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 underlined 100 times, feminine.
So no Adam's apple, no big hands, no...
Yeah.
No, hey, Murray, come here and get your pants off.
I was watching this YouTube video, I can't remember what the channel it was, and I was watching... it was actually... what I actually looked up was...
I don't want to know.
It was just how to do something on YouTube, like how to promote your page or something, I can't remember what it was. And this attractive girl seems to come onto the screen with long dark hair and brown eyes, and she's a nice looking girl. And then a couple of videos down the list, my transition or something along those lines.
Okay.
I went, oh, okay. But this person, she had her larynx removed and all sorts of. So she went the whole hog.
Yeah.
This person, but yeah.
The whole sow.
Yeah, whatever. She went the whole way. So yeah. Yeah. So does that answer your question?
Not really. But that's all right.
But the thing is, I was going to go with that. There's an idea out there at the moment, though, that says if you don't sleep with a trans person, then you're a bigot. It's like, well, doesn't it come down to sexual attraction, what you're attracted to?
But
coffees this morning.
Yeah. Well in the AM. I don't know, because I think you sleep with whoever you want to sleep with, and if you don't want to sleep with that type of person, don't sleep with that type of person. It's just a stupid statement.
Again, it's just choice, and then saying to someone, "Oh, you wouldn't do it because you're phobic," I think is the wrong way to look at it.
No, it's because I like women.
Well, it's like saying, do you like steak or don't you? Oh, well, you're bigoted towards steaks because you don't eat meat.
Yeah, you are.
I know, but what's the difference? It's just a preferential choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just your choice. It doesn't, it's just what you find.
Yeah, but the transgender thing clouds the water there.
It's what you find
because you
tasty.
Like, if they identify as a woman and they dress as a woman and they look like a woman, but they're a man, doesn't that make them a transvestite?
Well,
I don't know.
Well, someone we know does that, and oh god, I'd hate to say this person in drag, but he does that.
Okay,
has done that. But generally, he dresses as a male.
Okay.
Most of the time. But yeah, I think transvestite is that, and I think transsexual is where you get the chop.
But transgender, you don't need to do anything.
Well, this is the thing, and I was watching.
Man, it's too confusing. I'm too old for this shit.
It is too confusing, and I actually thought this up before the show. Now, interesting thing is when people on the left side of politics talk about things like when you think about it, the majority of people who are into the belief of man-made climate change are on the left of politics, right?
Into the belief of okay,
yeah,
all right.
Okay.
I'll come along for the moment
because it's based on science.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what they're saying. But when you say to the same people who may be in favour of transgenderism and blah blah blah, but they don't want to go with the science. The science says you have either XX or XY. In very rare cases, occasional cases, you have XXY, and they're usually female with, male attributes.
Okay.
So we ignore that. So this is the thing: we ignore that science, but we believe in the climate change science.
People are always going to believe what suits them.
Yeah,
that's always the way.
But isn't that a bit hypocritical?
Not really. Because
I think it is. It's way hypocritical.
Well, science says you're either born this or you're born that. Yeah, but you don't believe in the science of climate change, but you believe in the science of this and that. So you're arguing your own... I'm
not going to get down to... That's a topic for another time.
You're arguing in both sides of the story at the same time.
Science should never, ever be absolute. Science should always be studied continuously. And that's what a lot of... like even climate change scientists say, you know, that we should continuously study climate change statistics. Because that's science. You keep studying.
So XY should keep studying too. You can't have it both ways.
No, but
you either have to accept their argument.
That type of science is way more easy to define than all of the factors that come into account when it comes to climate change. You know, is it the thing is it man-made climate change, or is it just, you know, other factors, natural factors?
Okay, it's a long way from transgender.
Yes, we are. But my point is, you got the lefties who go, well, we believe in climate change, so we should stop doing this, and this. Yeah. But if you want to change, you know, we don't want to have genders because we think that's really bad. But the science is absolutely spot on.
Where I've on this subject, I think boys should play with girls' toys. I don't think there should be girls' toys and boys' toys. I think there should be one set of toys so everybody can play with everything. Now, whether that's gender neutral or I don't know what that is. Yeah. But It's got to the point, like Fireman Sam got the axe this week.
Who?
There's a promotional fireman, right?
Okay.
And he got axed, and he had a little cartoon like Postman Pat and stuff like that. Right. And he was on all the posters for the firefighters and all that, and gone. Okay. Too white, too male.
Yes, it's
offensive and not inclusive enough. It's a fucking cartoon.
It was like Pennywise that came out last week with It, and they're carrying on about a transphobic clown. I mean, it's like, what the hell? That's a horror movie character. He eats everybody, not just bloody the gay guys. Because did you see the movie?
No, I haven't seen it.
Well, in the opening scene, there's these two gay guys. They're at a fair type thing, and some homophobic guys come and beat them up and throw one of them off a bridge. And then Pennywise is on the side of the bridge and goes, and kills one of them, eats and kills one of them. Okay. But it had nothing to do with his sexual preference. It was.
Did they give out when he eats children?
I don't know if that was in the book or not, because I haven't seen that. Yeah, well, exactly. So they've gone nuts about that as well, and it's just stupid. And did I talk about what I was trying to look up before? The percentage?
Yes.
Yeah, and I couldn't.
You never said what the percentage was about.
Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to get to is when it comes to a lot of what I find with a lot of politics, that if you are from a minority group, whatever that may be, maybe if it's race, not gender, because it's 50-50, male and female. Oops, did I do a
oh my God, there? We're fluid.
Fluid, yeah. But I've lost my train of thought again.
Wow, you're shit.
It's early, more coffee.
The one thing, when it did come up in sport, like I can see your point there about the male that transitions to female and then winning Olympic gold as a woman. I can see how that would annoy me if I was a woman.
That in the sport episode
that nobody fucking listened to. But that's all right. I'm not bitter that it was my subject at all. But let's move on. So, yeah, I don't know. The whole transgender thing, I think it's like, I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing. All I know is you're born male or female, and unless you have an operation, you're always going to be that way. It doesn't matter what you identify. You can identify as the fucking piece of wood over there, but you're still male. You know, you're still male. At the end of the day,
what nature gives you, you know,
you can take away
the chromosomes that nature gives you. You can't change that. Well, at this point in science, we can't change them. So you're only cosmetically changing yourself. You're not changing that, you know.
But some people say they feel like they were born as a woman.
And I get that. Look, and there was an interesting episode on what shows The Family Guy a couple of weeks ago, and they sort of went into the whole transgender thing. And if you remember in that show, Quagmire's dad is transgender.
No, I don't remember.
Don't you?
No.
Okay, well, his dad is. And the show was all about, I think Peter decided to go trans or something. I can't remember the whole episode. But at the end of it, you know, like the serious part of the show, let me finish. The serious part of the show was that he sat there, Quagmire's dad, mum,
whatever
character, said, you know, I have fought my entire life to be recognised as a woman. I've, you know, for him it was the long haul. He's done it his entire life. He felt like he wasn't that person. For the majority of his life, and it was only when he left the army. I know these are fictional characters, so I'm sure this has happened. He fought his whole life trying to be male, but he always felt female. And I think the point they were making is that for him it was a lifelong struggle. And I'm sure this has happened to real people. I've even seen interviews with people who felt their entire life that they were female. But now it's like, this second I am now female. Look, I've got long hair.
Yeah.
You know.
He likes it pulled too. But what does trans mean? You go, oh, I'm trans.
Transition?
But to what? From what? People go, oh, I'm trans. What the fuck does that mean? Like, seriously, what does it mean?
Give us a comment down below.
Like, yeah, I'm like ignorant as fuck. So just educate me. Because when people go, oh, I'm trans, like, does it mean some days you're a girl, some days you're a boy? Like, some days you're a wallet? Like, I don't know. What the fuck does it mean?
Well, I think when it comes back to the percentages I was talking about, I don't think I actually know anybody that is. No, sorry, no, I tell a lie. I do know one.
Trans. So they identify as trans?
No, as from transitioning from a male to a female. Just one day just got up, decided to to be a different gender and have a different name, female name. One person, I don't know this person that well, but I just
really? You're backing away real quick now.
No. I've just met them through our business when he used to come to the shop. It, whatever. Then this is where it gets confusing.
You can't say it. I think it's derogatory.
They, them. Wasn't that singer come out this week? Some singer come out talking about he's got a face full of stubble, saying that he's a they, them. I can't remember what it was. I don't care either. But I think what it comes down to, the problem it comes down to is like when it comes back to the outrage culture that we did a few weeks ago.
It all comes down to woke. That's what it all comes down to.
Yeah. And taking offence to quite often, if you're going to come out and be a prick, if an obvious trans person comes in who was a man who transitioned into a female, comes into your business and you call them sir to be a smart ass, then you're being a smart ass.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I agree.
And that's just being,
I think if people want to be a woman,
bad behaviour.
I think if people want to be a woman, treat them as a woman. If they want to be a man, treat them as a man.
Yeah.
But what's underneath, what's behind the veil is behind the veil. So it shouldn't really matter to me or to you or to anybody what the other person wants to be.
No. Yeah, but the problem is not in this country, but in Canada, you can, if you refuse to use the person's preferred gender pronoun, you can actually be fined for that. Well, that is a legal offence.
How do you police that?
Yeah.
He called me sir. I did not, madam.
No, but I don't think if you make a mistake, it's like if they say no, I am Ms. or I am Mrs. or whatever, or I am whatever, ZN, whatever, I don't know what they call them, and you refuse to call them by that, you can be fined.
But that's just being a dick.
And you're being a dick. But why do we have to police that? What?
Because people are dicks.
People are dicks, but. It's like...
but you've got people that go, I don't care, he was born a boy, he'll always be a boy. And they'll never see it as any other way. Like, if you come into their shop or their place of business, a gun shop or whatever the fuck they sell, and go, I want to be Mrs. And they go, no, you're a boy, you'll be a boy in this shop. Like, that's just, they're going to be dicks all their life. That's never going to change. And no matter how woke or what law you do, you're not going to change these people. Yeah. The only people you're going to change is the next generation, and it becomes more and more acceptable. Education is the way forward, my friends.
It is, and I think it just comes back
and we're too old for this shit. Like, we are. Like, I'm accepting of it, and you're accepting of it, but this wasn't around when we were kids.
It was.
It probably was, but we had no idea.
It was, but it just wasn't. I mean, it was the same when we were at school. When you knew who the gay guys were, you just knew.
No,
you didn't.
No, because it was illegal in Ireland.
Really?
Yeah, it was illegal in Ireland. There was
Catholicism.
No gay people. There just wasn't. Well, I'm sure there was, but I didn't know. I had no idea.
Well, I think, maybe I didn't know, but I always suspected. And they come out, after we left school years later, that they turn out to be gay, and that's fine. And but. Again, I've lost my point.
You're terrible this morning.
Oh, no, I'm shocking. So I'm not an AM kind of person.
Neither. Muso and a chef doing a show in the AM. This is ridiculous. It should be 1 AM.
We should do it in the afternoon.
Yeah. So I don't know where we're getting with this, because I think we're going around in circles. Because I don't have an opinion either way. If you want to be who you want to be who you want to be. But it's
but as we discussed in the sport episode, these guys that are going out, or people who are born guys, when I say guys, I mean guys as in the colloquial everybody, like folks. These people that are going out, born male, have male bone structure, male,
Don't do that.
You know?
Bone structure.
male muscle tone and
Mass.
they're tall, muscle mass, taller, have all the advantages, and they're competing against girls who have worked their asses off their entire life to get where they are in their chosen sport. That's where it becomes a problem for me, and that's incredibly unfair.
But it shouldn't be a problem for you. It can only be a problem for you if it's a problem for them. If it's not a problem
I'm
for
sure
them,
it's a damn problem for female athletes.
but can you
who've been-
imagine being a female athlete and having to come out against someone like that?
And
Then
a lot
all
of
of a
them
sudden
have.
you'd be crucified.
And they are being crucified, and they shouldn't be crucified because the biology is there. The biology is sound. The biology is correct. They should not be allowed to compete against women.
Okay. Well, do we start a whole new section? So you've got the male, female, and the trans, and
Well,
whoever
I think so.
you think. So
Well,
the
we have-
Olympics, there's the men, women, and trans. Is that what you're saying?
Well, isn't that being
Trans gold medalist?
isn't that being fair to the girls?
Well, it's not really being inclusive, though, isn't it? They haven't pushing them aside, like the
Well, this is the
Paralympians.
problem. Where can you win with this kind of stuff?
I don't know. I don't know where the line in the sand is, and I don't know who gets to draw it.
But you can't put someone in a ring, say wrestlers, like real wrestling, not
WWF.
No, like Olympic wrestling. Get a person who was born male, has all the male attributes, even if they've had the chop, and even if they have reduced testosterone levels, and you put a girl in with them, the one who's born as a guy is most likely going to win because they have the strength. Now that is unfair. That should not be allowed. And
So
call me a fucking bigot if you like.
But
That
what do you
should
do
not
with
be
them?
allowed.
What do you do? Well, what do you do for them, with them? Like they want to be included.
We have the Olympics for
Paralympians.
Paralympics. What's wrong with doing something like that?
I don't know. It's not very inclusive. It's
But
like
what are you
going, you
gonna
can't
do?
be part of
Okay,
us.
so
You
what
have to
happens
do
is-
it over
okay,
there.
let's go down
Did
the
you know
road.
the Paralympians don't want to be part of the normal Olympics? They want to stand alone. So theirs is just as important.
Good.
Which it
And
is
I
to them.
and
Well, it's-
absolutely.
yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. But if
I don't think
if
trans
you throw
people would be that way.
everybody in, apart from sports, say like maybe target shooting and things that don't require a lot of physical strength, if it comes down to speed, strength, and stuff like that, the person who was born as a male is going to win the majority of the time. I don't know how much of the time, but I'd say it's going to be a bloody lot.
I'd love to see a big burly man transition to a woman and go for synchronized swimming. Little hats with the daisies on it and stuff.
And I remember there was a video I watched the other week about saying, but there's athletes always have advantages over other athletes, and that is true. Some people are bigger, taller, blah blah blah.
Take better drugs.
Take better drugs. Chinese swimming team.
Yeah.
And it's why do we ban doping? Why do we ban performance enhancing drugs?
So you're relating performance enhancing drugs to being born as a male and transitioning to a woman.
If you're born as a male, then compete against males.
Right, but even though... So, okay, hold on. So, I'm born a male, I transition to a woman, which is not gender, that's transsexual, and then I have to compete against men. Is this what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to. But see, how good are these people too? Like, if you get... It's like someone who dopes. Okay, if you get on the diving blocks of a 100-meter, 50-meter swim or whatever, and you know you've got an advantage, don't you feel bad about yourself that you're not being a good sport?
Well, it depends. Depends on the financial outcome. You go, I've got this in the
but I'm
bag.
talking, okay, what about Olympics and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that?
There's still a financial outcome to it. It's like you look at the alleged doping of that Chinese guy. Shoulders like this. Nobody would stand on the dais with him because they all know he's cheating.
Oh, yeah.
But is it going to stop him? No, he's not caught. He's going to keep doing it. So
they didn't find anything in his system which...
No, what happened was they put the samples all in this lab and somebody went in and smashed up the lab.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, take what you will from that, but it's... I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but I'm not even sure I don't know what the fucking question is.
Why in the beginning have male sport and female sport, if that's the case? Why did we differentiate between male sport and female? Male tennis and female tennis in the beginning.
Oh, you know why? You just want me to say it for you so I can get justified.
That's not about being justified. Why did we do it in the beginning? Why?
Tell me. Because men are stronger.
You can incriminate yourself.
No, I'm not incriminating myself. You're doing a good job by yourself. But I don't know if that is gender.
Okay, they reckon that the like the 1,500 of the best female players couldn't beat the best male tennis player.
Say that again slowly.
Well, like the top,
Serena Williams,
whoever the top female tennis player could no way beat the best male. And Martina Navratilova came out and said something like that, and she got crucified for it.
Yeah,
I mean, for God's sake, she was
brilliant.
Yeah, and she doesn't exactly fit into gender stereotypes either, does she?
No, she doesn't. She's
and
gay.
She got crucified for it.
She looks quite masculine,
she
and
does.
she's quite well. She was quite muscular. I don't know what she's like now. She'd be old now, probably wrinkly.
But she copped a flogging, and John McEnroe also said a very similar thing. I need to look at the statistics, by the way. But it's like the best 100, and there's no way.
Usain Bolt's not getting beaten by a woman.
I don't know. He's either like the best tennis player.
No. You don't know who Usain Bolt is?
Who's Bolt?
Usain Bolt has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Olympics gold medals for 100 meters and 200 meters. He's the world record holder. He's like 3 Olympics he's won. He's one of the best of all time.
Okay.
Oh, I can't believe you don't know who Usain Bolt is. He's on TV ads here. Everything.
I don't watch TV.
He's the guy that does this one all the time.
I don't watch TV. I watch Sean McAuliffe once a week on ABC.
Right.
That's it. That's the only thing I watch on free-to-air TV.
Good for you. And he's gender fluid, isn't he?
No. But there's got to be some rationality with this, and I think that's the point.
Oh, but we haven't got there yet because it's brand new.
There was bits here that I haven't got to yet, and we are running out of time. But the bits that I want to get to is, and I don't mean that in that way.
Gender, the bits I want to get to.
Your mind went straight to the gutter. That's the parts of this. Oh, that's worse.
The guts of this.
The guts of this that I want to get to.
Down to the balls.
It's when it comes to kids.
Yeah.
Okay, so. The Louis Theroux one. Did you watch the Louis Theroux one about transgender kids and stuff?
Nope.
That one was very interesting. And there was one couple in that who had this biologically born boy, and from the minute he could pick shit up and play with toys and put on his own clothes, was female. So he played with all dolls. He brushed the dolls' hair. He wore girls' clothes. He played with doll houses. All the atypical female traditional toys, and dressed like it, and felt that he was I don't know, 6-7 years old.
But to see,
and they didn't encourage it. They didn't discourage it. They said, "We haven't done anything. This is how he turned out."
Yeah.
Or she turned out. So that's different. But what's happening, I think, now, as a lot of people are seeing, people hate me going to say this, but it's become a trend. It's become trendy. And the problem is that I reckon I've said this to you before, that when these kids hit about 25, they're going to go, "Oh fuck, I've made a mistake."
I've think I have seen parts of that show where they start to transition from male to female or male or the other way around, like by 12, 13,
and that's bullshit.
And like, I'll be honest, when I was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, boys and girls were just boys and girls. You didn't know the biology of it. You
weren't interested in girls until you hit about 12, 13.
Yeah.
And then the girls started looking good. But before that was like, girls.
But these kids,
mate, over there with the football. Or
how do they know by 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10?
This is the problem. Well, this kid just seemed to be
identify as a woman.
Well, just be attracted to the female stereotype toys and clothes.
Yeah.
But the thing that bugs me is that
Jesus. We could be here for a while.
The thing that bugs me is that you can't drink alcohol in this country until you're at least 18, but you can change your gender when you're fucking 12 years old.
Okay, see, this is where the question is: you can change your gender, but can you change your sex? Like, can you go for the operation, or is changing gender just going, okay?
Oh, yeah, true. I don't know what the law is with that.
Changing gender...
Well, a lot of kids are getting hormone treatment in their early teens, prepubescent years.
Well, what's the point of that?
Well, they obviously feel like they want to change, but is that a good thing?
Yeah, but even if you think about your musical taste, your taste in food, everything changes through that, and you go through one stage and you come out the other, and then you go through another stage and you come out the other. Are we just giving too much credence to these people, or do these people need to be listened to?
These people?
Well, people that want to change. Don't put words in my mouth, motherfucker. I can get myself in enough shit.
Beep.
Hey, nowhere near you.
I was just very
Animated.
I was very
Testy.
engrossed in the topic. Yeah.
I
So
don't know,
the things that bother me. So do what you want as long as it doesn't impact on others, and that's what the problem with the sport thing. That's where, as you know, gets really under my skin because it does impact female athletes.
Yes, it does.
And that is unfair. Massively unfair.
Well,
And you should be ashamed of yourself when you get out in the field and you know that you can do better because of your biological strengths.
okay, I didn't know where you were going with that. I don't think you did.
I knew where I was going.
No, see,
It's just the words are harder for me to get.
I want to know. I want to know where the line is between does transgender just mean one day I'm a girl, next day I'm a boy, next time I don't change physically. I don't change. Appearance, I change, but identify as one or the other. But as in transsexual, you've got to have like bits cut off or bits added, and
Or get hormone treatment.
Yeah, but there's a huge difference because transgender seems a lot easier to do than transsexual. Transgender, you just go, no, I'm a girl from here on in. I shaved the beard, I cut the hair.
Another thing that I think
I'm already developing the breasts.
Another thing I think that I don't know has been looked at all is that people who take hormone supplements. There was a. I'll give you an example. There was a cream that came out a few years ago, and it was for men.
I have no idea where you're going with this.
This actually happened. It was like a cream. It was like a testosterone cream. It had testosterone in the cream. Yeah. So when men blokes were getting older, they were using this cream. They were rubbing it all over them to keep their testosterone levels up. But what they were finding is that they were getting cancer from this shit.
Okay.
So when the balance of hormones is out of whack, the jury is probably still out scientifically on this, but I think that it does lean towards the possibility of getting cancers from having the wrong hormones in your system. So if this is happening to these kids and they're taking hormones at a young age, is that going to be something that they're going to pay for it later?
Do you remember when cigarettes came out? Doctors recommended cigarettes first. So when we start this stuff, we don't know. It's like the vaping thing now. They're saying, it causes lung disease. Really? Really? What a fucking shock. You're inhaling shit into your fucking lungs. What a fucking shock that is. But, I don't know. Everything gives you cancer nowadays, doesn't it? Everything.
Coffee.
I heard coffee stops cancer. It's a miracle drug.
Well, it used to be. It gave you. Now it stops it. It's like make your mind up.
Yeah. Are we done?
Yeah. So I think we've covered everything we needed to in there.
With a fig leaf.
Well, here's the last thing I want to talk about.
Right.
And we were at I won't name the business, but at this health food takeaway.
Okay.
Okay, you can work that one out. It's pretty easy. On the weekend, and we went to use the toilets, and they were both, unisex toilets.
Yep.
And I went, that just solves the gripes that people have about male and female toilets. I mean, the toilet in your house, is it unisex? Of course it fucking is.
No, we've got two.
You got two?
Yeah, she's got hers and I've got mine.
Really?
Yeah.
You use different ones?
Yeah.
But, okay, apart from your house, most houses, both genders use the same toilet, don't they?
We were in Ireland last year, and the
As long as
Cliffs
you
of
can
Moher.
lock the door behind you.
We were in the Cliffs of Moher, and there's a big visitor centre. There was thousands and thousands of people there, and we've walked in looking for the toilets, and whole lots unisex, public unisex toilets.
Solves the problem.
I tell you what, though, when you walk out of a cubicle for the first time and there's a girl walking out next to you, it's a weird experience.
Yeah.
It was different, but
Would it be any different?
You've got to go. You got to go.
If it would be any different if you're at a party at your house and everyone's using the same toilet, and you walk out, but she's washing her hands in the basin.
It's different with people you know. I don't know why.
If you've got a separate bathroom and
I don't know why, but
it
just is. It's different with people you know.
It's just what you're used to, I guess.
But unisex toilets, I reckon, is the way to go.
Well, it solves the ruckus that everyone makes about it.
Yeah.
Just make them the toilet
Clunk,
for everybody.
Clunk, clunk.
They're all
Lock
bowls.
the doors.
No urinal, just bowls.
Yeah, just a
That's all
bowl.
you need. All right. I'm done.
You done? You did the sign off thing? Did you normally
No, you are.
All right.
Oh, yeah, okay. So give us a like and a comment. Would be fantastic. And subscribe, etc., and we will talk to you next week.
All right. So we don't actually care if you're male, female, a tractor, a fucking table, a parrot, a chimp. Makes no difference to us. ugly.
Because he's probably had his willy.
He probably had his willy cut off.
Burnt off.
Anyway,
so
it makes no difference to us. Just, be nice to each other. Fucking, if she wants to be a miss, she's a miss. If miss wants to be a sir, it's a sir. All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.